Welcome in, everybody, to this outstanding event, the TGS Anniversary Month featuring Hearthstone. We have a $1,000 prize pool on the line, and all to celebrate the second anniversary of the gaming stadium. Welcome to one and all. My name is Brasky. I am joined by Sway Bay. We are jumping into some Hearthstone, Sway, and we had a little mini set release, which means we might see some new archetypes and might see a meta that's been shaken up a little bit.
Yeah, I know. It's really exciting. This is the first tournament occurring after the Wailing Caverns has been released. So it seems like the meta has not been optimized yet. No decks have really settled in. There are obviously some clear standouts in terms of classes, but across the board, we should be seeing a lot of really interesting gameplay.
I think so, and I think that's what we'll kind of see in some of these spots there. A lot of the spots, a lot of decks that we've seen, a lot of archetypes, certainly we've seen a lot of what's happening on the ladder, but ladder and conquest, those are two different beasts. So we get to see like which of these lineups is doing well. We've heard a lot about a couple of certain archetypes and classes. You know, from your perspective, just in the last like 24 hours or so, is there a specific class that you think stands out as maybe the one that everyone kind of has to work around a little bit? Maybe it's a priest or a warrior or something like that.
You know, I'm seeing a whole lot of Rush Warrior that's really, really dominating. I'm seeing a lot of Shaman also doing really, really well. But that, to be said, like there's also a good Miracle Rogue. There's a really awesome Rally Priest. There is quite a few. There's a great Lifesteal Demon Hunter. There's really no class that's going to greatly suffer here. So, and let's talk about how strong Mutinous is, by the way. Like
He's definitely... Oh, yeah, it's definitely one of those things we're just sitting down. When does the Mutinous come out? When does that happen? Who is eating whose deck and who's getting how much stats is kind of going along with that. And that's going to be what happens here with this awesome event with the Gaming Stadium. Of course, today's event is put on by Canada's leader in esports, the Gaming Stadium. Now, if you're looking for the next big thing in competitive gaming, well, look no further. The team at the Gaming Stadium are leaders in online esports tournaments and events, and you can check them out and all of the action they have at TGS.GG. And we're going to see some GGs up here pretty soon in our first match, which is going to be between the Risen Dead and NAYSYL. And this is going to be an interesting spot that we might see here. So we're getting the bands in right now. We're kind of going to see who's going to be playing what. But right off the bat, I'm looking on the side of NAYSYL. I see a Miracle Rogue, a Spell Mage, a Rush Warrior as well sitting on their side. And then it looks like on the side of the Risen Dead, Celestial Druid, Miracle Rogue, and Aggro Shaman is going to be playing down there right now. The one thing I see from both of those spots, no priests. They both brought it. They both banned it.
They both banned Priest, which means no Mirror Priest happening in this first match, which I'm pretty sure none of us are going to complain about.
I know. It's like, okay, all right, I have to actually sit forward a little bit. We don't have any priest mirrors. Like, if it was a priest mirror, it's like, just undo the chair a little bit. We're going to sit back. It's going to be fine. We're just going to be relaxing for the priest mirror. That's not going to happen this time around. We look at some of the spots here. This Miracle Rogue. The Miracle Rogue is something I'm kind of really interested. I got a chance to play a good amount of this deck on ladder here in the last 24 hours. A lot of them kind of making use of Tenwu, of the Red Smoke, which is an interesting card there. A lot of people were thinking, Poison Rogue. That's where this is going to go. That's what we were going to see.
Right.
But looking at a lot of the decks that have started to kind of show up in Masters qualifiers and other spots, this Miracle Rogue really has some legs to it.
Yeah, absolutely. And just it's interesting to see the two different deck lists from these players because they're not bringing the exact same deck here. There are some very slight augmentations. So seeing how those play out against each other will be very interesting as well, which you can check out on Battlefy if you are interested in seeing those deck lists there.
Absolutely. On the side of NAYSYL as well, there's also that we have a little harken back to the beginning of the sets that came out here, and that was that good old Spell Mage. We see Incanter's Flow making a little bit of a comeback in the hands of NAYSYL.
Right. We're going to see that coin Incanter's Flow maybe on turn 1, and then we're going to see some crazy RNG potentially.
And no doubt, NAYSYL, she really feels like she can pilot that deck well, and maybe sneak out a win and take this match here in round number 1 as we jump into this matchup here in round number 1 between NAYSYL and the Risen Dead. Starting off with that Aggro Shaman going up against that Spell Mage that we just talked about.
Yeah, Deck of Lunacy in that first hand there. I wonder what she's going to do. She's going to mull that or go ahead and take it. And it stays.
The heroic keep by NAYSYL. It's like everybody in chat was like basically saying like, yeah, hold on to that thing. We need to see some craziness, and things are going to get pretty loony right around turn 3, maybe even turn 4. Early on, R1SENDEAD keeps the devolving missiles, the lightning bolt, and even that torrent as well. And going back and forth, we see Dunk Tank now in the hand for R1SENDEAD. This is an aggro shaman deck, but it's not necessarily that aggro shaman you would think wants to go turn 1 into turn 2, like Curbstone aggro shaman. It really wants to kind of do bursts of damage all at once. And it's going to be interesting to see how they navigate this against what can be really a random fiesta in this mage.
Absolutely. And both of them are going to be both of these decks are crafted to play against a deck that's going to have a lot of board power. So it kind of depends on who's going to get that board power first. And out comes the Incanter's Flow right away.
Absolutely. So lots of cards being discounted right on turn 2. Brain Freeze, removing minions on the side of the shaman, and just like that, another Note Taker into hand. So the first one was dealt with. Maybe Risen says, here's another one. Let's see what you can do.
And out just comes like a Note Taker. There it is.
I like this move right here, and this is kind of what we see of like this aggro shaman doing bursts of damage. It just did 3 damage, put another lightning bolt back in the hand. Now Torrent's discounted for next turn as well. And now onto the side of NAYSYL. Nice cheap fireball. Let's drop down a combustion, continue to remove the minions of the shaman. Really, you just get the sense that NAYSYL's just biding her time until it's time for Deck of Lunacy to do some crazy, crazy stuff.
Right, and smart on Risen's part to just go ahead and get that spell burst off, because otherwise it probably would not have been able to happen.
Devolving Missiles, Spirit Path, another Devolving Missiles into the hand. That's going to be an interesting spot there. When you see something like Devolving Missiles coming on the side of R1SENDEAD, even though you know this is basically like a no minion mage, and now we just see the Deck of Lunacy come out down there. I guess it's kind of a value play, is that if you start seeing stuff that is hugely discounted, that is going to create some sort of giant minions, you just need some way to kind of reduce whatever big stuff might be coming on the randomness of this mage deck. Is now we see the damage going straight to face.
Yeah, Risen is just trying to take control as much as he can here right now, because it's gonna, he knows the lunacy is about to ensue. So getting those devolving missiles are definitely gonna help deal with some of those minions there.
Cram Session into that good old Libram that's going to start healing and making some gigantic taunts is going to be an interesting spot. Goodness. And now here's the first devolving missiles of the day.
Interesting choice to devolving missiles now, although it makes sense.
Absolutely. Now Doomhammer into the hand, and now we see why we call this an aggro shaman. No worries about anything else on the side of that mage. They know that basically whenever this lunacy comes out, you need to start putting on the pressure and not give them an opportunity to find whatever ridiculous stuff is inside of their deck. Of course, a Libram of Hope is kind of a ridiculous thing, and a big 8/8 taunt with Divine Shield is going to be difficult to deal with. Now we see...
Devolving, though, that comes in handy right now.
Absolutely, you are spot on with that. We get to see that devolving missiles if it hits, and it does. It hits twice. Still a 6/6 with taunt. Pretty decent, though.
Right, much better than an 8/8 with Divine Shield.
And a big dunk tank right here is going to be really, really nice as well. So clearing off that spot. Absolutely.
And bringing Nye right back down to 17. She was able to heal back up to 22, but looking a little shifty.
Yeah, a little shifty right here. There's an initiation now into the hand. Mark of Cthulhu, now at 7 mana, is also going to be able to be used at some point. I'm interested to see how NAYSYL is going to navigate this thing. And meanwhile, on the side of Risen, you got another devolving missiles in case some other ridiculous shenanigans come out. Of course, that Primal Dungeoneer. And let's not forget, if you have an ability to buff up your weapon in any way, shape, or form, you're going to continue to deal a lot of Wind Fury damage to face. Summoning a 1/1, this is okay. It's a tempo play. You've reversed the tempo a little bit. You've gotten some card advantage on your side as well. Another Libram into the hand.
Absolutely.
Oh my goodness. That's a lot of healing.
Being able to get that outcast on the skull was key. So doing that initiation was just what needed to happen in order to get those discounted spells. 3 cost Libram of Hope.
Not too shabby.
Oh my goodness. Now,
wow.
Nye's looking real nice now.
Nye's feeling pretty good about everything that's going on right now. Celestial Alignment. Normally a 7 mana card is going to set each player to 0 mana crystals and set the cost of cards in all hands to 1.
I think that is one of the nuttiest cards in the entire game.
Now this is going to be interesting though. If you're going to set the cost of all cards to 1, And it's now like really putting on the pressure. This Libram Hope is going to be really good, but that's the only thing you can cast right now.
Right.
And it's going to feel great to have that 8/8, but the longer this game goes on, like there are ways for this Shaman to draw some cards, stack a bunch of damage together, and still sitting at 29 life. Like the mage is not putting on a lot of pressure right now. It does have a lot of value, but this Shaman might be able to figure something out.
Yeah, that Devolving Missiles looks like it's about to come out potentially, and that would clear that 8/8, but Shaman's got some options.
Yeah, that Torrent also feels really good to play right now. 1 mana, deal 8 damage to a minion. They have now dealt with 2 of these huge Librams and still putting on the pressure. Down to 17 is NAYSYL, but still some options as they now have 2 mana to kind of deal with what they want to deal with it. We might see a Mark of Cthulhu here. There's also that Shattering Blast is in the spot. Apex Blast is also good as well.
But there's not a lot of ways for Nye here to claim board. There's only ways to answer to what Risen's got going on.
So let's see what the Apex's Brass brings out. A 5/6. Okay, that's decent stats, right?
Yep. Yeah, that's not bad. And again, Risen having a lot of options here.
And here we go. There's the Doom Hammer into the Rockbiter weapon, into 10 damage straight to face.
Wow.
Putting NAYSYL all the way down to 5 right now. So now, can NAYSYL find perhaps another Libram, find some other way to gain some life and kind of stay alive right here? Because otherwise, they're on the precipice of losing this first game right here with a Bladestorm into the hand.
And like even a taunt wouldn't really work. I mean, Nye does not know this, but that Devolving Missiles could absolutely make things very, very challenging.
And
Nye
look
just
at this.
pressuring face.
Is this lethal right here with some damage, or are we just pushing everything we got? Coerce going to damage out. Oh, it's just saying we're going to straight up race. Saying, all right, do you have another way to buff? Do you have another way to buff your weapon? Do you have another way to do something together? And just like that, the Storm Crash is going to give it and put another 8 damage to face. And game number 1 is going to go to the Risen Dead against NAYSYL.
Wow. That Shaman is so strong. That Doomhammer, 2 Doomhammers, just drawing both of those Doomhammers came in so clutch.
And coming back to that, like the reason why he got to do exactly what he wanted to do there and push that much damage to face was because of that Celestial alignment. Yeah. Because you got to play 1 mana, draw 1 mana Doomhammer, put that 1 mana Doomhammer on, just keep pushing a whole bunch of face. Like that's kind of, I guess that's the tightrope that you walk, Sway, when you play that no minion mage.
Absolutely. And it's you're either making your opponent much stronger or you are putting yourself in a really prime position. And unfortunately, I was just not able to hold board there. Yeah.
And, perhaps there might be a time that we can see NAYSYL maybe pick that mage back up, start to get in the groove a little bit with that deck, because we always like to feel that we're in the groove with stuff. And I know, Sway, I like to feel in the groove when I'm listening to Monster Cat.
Yeah, absolutely. So we have one of our sponsors, Monster Cat. Have you heard about Monster Cat Gold? If you haven't tried it yet, it's a great service for $5 a month where you can download and stream thousands of Monster Cat songs from top electronic artists. You can use music in your live streams and videos with no fear of DMCA claims or strikes. Learn more at monstercat.com. And I personally love Monster Cat. I use it for my YouTube videos. I think it's fantastic. So easy to download. Such a huge library to choose from.
I completely agree with you. It's one of those things. I've listened to the Monster Cat podcast and mixes just for years now, and I absolutely love all that stuff they put out. And what I also love is what we have here in the Druid. We see a Druid on the side of Risen, and then we look at the Devolving Missiles, Primordial Studies, some good pieces on the side of NAYSYL. I like what's happening right here. We're going to stick with that mage. That's what she says. We're going to keep things going and rolling, and now looking at the side of this Druid, the Celestial Druid with a Gadgets and Auctioneer, it might pull off some miracles of its own.
Absolutely. Having that Enervate and also Guess the Weight, but choosing not to use it. Both skipping turn 1 here.
I like that. Guess the way it's going to come down. You have a Wild Growth. Makes sense that you're going to guess that this one's going to cost more. And what do we have? Oh, Lightning Bloom on that one.
Okay.
Makes sense though. It's one of those cards where you're almost always going to guess more, because if you guess less, it's not going to. You don't miss out on a whole lot of much. You're going to sit there, guess more, try to get some of your big value spells in there.
Right, but it looks like Risen's got the beginning of some ramp here.
Yeah, the beginnings of some ramp.
Nye's got that cram session going, not really finding any Incanter's Flow, not really finding Deck of Lunacy.
Yeah, this is one where both sides are biding their time, but both these decks allow the players to kind of set up what they want to set up so that we can see some shenanigans happen a little bit later on. Now, Centurion Ward now into the hand. Guess the weight. It's 5 mana. Probably going to guess less. Still guesses more.
Guesses more. And it is less again. And unfortunately, it's an overgrowth. That is a hard one to miss out on. And just going ahead to smash face with that one. Nye with a Font of Power in hand.
And now let's look at the side of what's going to happen with this Druid. Maybe coming out on turn 6. You're going to drop that Gadget Sand, Innervate, Lightning Bloom, draw 3 cards, maybe play some other value pieces down there, Refreshing Spring Water now on the side of NAYSYL. Now, like starting here on turn 5, turn 6, we're going to start seeing some fireworks happen.
Absolutely. Nye's definitely got a great hand here, dropping that fireball straight to face, saying, let's go.
Shades of classic Hearthstone right there. It's like, what am I doing with this fireball? You know what? Just throwing it at your face. I don't have lethal or anything else. I'm just going to punch 6 damage straight to your face. And the Druid, in classic Druid fashion, says, great. Guess what? I'm going to be at 9 mana next turn while you're sitting at 5. And lots to do on the side of that Druid eventually. And meanwhile, they're not getting any pressure from this mage, right? No. They're just kind of sitting back, biding their time. The longer this match goes on, Sway, who do you think has the upper hand?
It's definitely going to be the Druid. And I think that is honestly why Nag went ahead with that fireball to face, because she knows she's got limited time here before Druid pops off. So I think she was really trying to get as much damage as possible to face, and was just trying to fireball and go.
Look at this, and here comes the miracle turn. The Gadget Sand Auctioneer has got deals everywhere. We got the Nature Studies. We got Innervate. We're drawing some more cards, some more Cthulhu cards now into the hand. Nature Studies is going to come down. Celestial Alignment onto the side of Risen Dead. We saw what that did. And now a Bog Beam, drawing a Lady Anaconda into a Hero Power. Lots of stuff to do. I am impressed with how quick Risen did that.
Yeah, and Risen is officially at 10 mana now here. 4 mana ahead of Curve right now. And out comes Primordial. Yeah.
I think so.
Choosing the Geomancer.
I like the moves here. Refreshing Spring Water still leaves you a chance to deal 4 damage and take out that Auctioneer if you want to. Combustion now into the hand as well. So now NAYSYL has to really look at, okay, how do I want to order this? In what way do I want to deal with this Auctioneer? And also planning what's going to happen on Risen's turn after this, and what resources do I need to hold on to for whatever they're going to come up with next turn.
Absolutely, and Nye also needs to keep in mind for that Font of Power, having that hand, the room in hand, to be able to get full utilization of the font.
So 3 damage to the face, going to discover some more answers. That's kind of what this mage deck is. It's like you don't know what the answers are, but you're going to know that you need to find answers constantly. But the card pool for mage really allows you to almost always you're going to find an answer in the things that you're going to discover. Now, Conjure Mana Biscuit is going to be able to refresh 2 mana crystals at some point. And Lunar Eclipse now into the hand for Risen.
Lunar Eclipse and Solar Eclipse both in hand right now.
Are we going to see it?
Celestial Alignment. There it is. There it is.
Because in true Druid fashion, we're going to ramp to 10 only to set ourselves back to 1.
That was a really opportune mask, though. Nothing on the board, nothing to clear, just pushing face.
And I love it. I love every part of that. Now, Lady Anaconda is sitting down there. Anaconda is going to come down. Nature spells now cost 2 less. Welcome. Boy, it feels like Miracle Rogue sometimes, but no, it's a Druid that's going to sit there, play Cenarian Ward, 8 armor, 8 cost minion, and Alakir, the Windlord, comes out.
Alakir, oh my goodness.
The winds obey his command, and now Devolving Missiles needs to hopefully hit this too.
I mean, a strong man is a lot better than an Alakir. Same amount of damage, technically, but goodness me, that is less scary to deal with.
Less scary to deal with, but still a lot of damage on this board that we need to deal with as well.
Absolutely. Doesn't look like she's... I mean, she could Devolving one more time. Combustion's not going to clear, unfortunately.
Yeah, trying to find some way to maybe, like, take this the 6/6 down a little bit so Combustion can deal some side damage somewhere, perhaps.
Right.
Because you do have a few Combustions in hand. You do have... that Incanter Slow is finally there, but you only have 1 mana, so you get to choose. That's the thing. You can't chain a bunch of stuff together because that Celestial Alignment just reset everything back down to 1.
That Mana Biscuit's coming in really handy right now, though.
Huge spot right here. Mana Biscuit into the Combustion, dealing with the 4/4s. I like this move, okay? You take that out 8 power worth of damage. You're still leaving a 6/6 up there, but
right.
You're removing as much tempo on the side of your opponent as you can. 2 mana, 2 spells, Nourish to draw, and then you can refresh your mana crystals after this. And there's a Yogg Saron as well, and it is active.
My goodness.
Eye of Cthulhu now going to deal 7 damage randomly. Down to 8 is NAYSYL. The Celestial Alignment she played in game 1 went against her. And now the Celestial Alignment that Risen played in game 2 seems to be going against her as well.
She was looking really nice.
She was looking fantastic, and then all of a sudden, this card just seemed to completely just throw a wrench into everything she wanted to do. Ruined Orb going to try and discover a spell. She needs to find something to deal with this 6/6. At the very least, a Brain Freeze is going to like keep it from going to face, because that might be what she does there.
I think that is the only option.
It just might have to be like I mean, what other way? What else can you do right now? You just have to kind of stay alive
to
at
the
this point.
6/6 at this point, which wouldn't be terrible, but
Font of Power.
And it looks like Fireball to the 6/6. Okay.
Fireball to the 6/6. Got a hold of a few minions there as well that they can possibly play out. Feral Rage now into the hand. Do we have a way to play it twice? I don't think so. So here we go.
Spinning the wheel.
The Master of Fate will spin the wheel. Where it ends up, maybe they'll steal a game right here.
I do love this game mechanic quite a bit.
Curse of the Flesh. Fill the board with random minions, then give yours rush.
Wow. Oh, okay, but I think Nye got way better minions.
Yeah, that's it. Look at some of the pieces there. I see a Koldara Drake that's down there, a bunch of 5/5s.
Right.
Some good Death Rattle minions down there as well. Meanwhile, on the side of Risen, lots of like, okay, so we have, I see some primes. We got the Moonfang that's down there. Gonna destroy that 6/6. Seems like a good move.
That was probably the least optimal landing there for Risen in terms of that spin wheel.
But still able to, I think, probably navigate a good amount of this. I mean, that rush, having rush just seems like such a big thing right here. Do we want to go with a Lightning Bloom? Do we want a Feral Rage? Do we want a Celestial Alignment yet again? Is another big question we want to put up here.
That would be a little bit terrifying.
6/3 comes down. He's got the rope is burning. Time is ticking. He wants to put a prime into his deck, deal with that Koldara Drake, which seems like a nice move as well. And we don't get to attack with the 3/5, so he does miss one of the rush parts there. And now the door is open to see if NAYSYL can find some answers here.
Which this just gave her plenty of ammo, to be honest with you. Like, now she's got some things to play with.
Lots of toys to play with. It's you could see Risen as well not touch that Celestial Alignment, which kind of makes sense that your opponent's at 4 mana and you don't know what minions were put into their deck either, right? So they could have gotten some really high-costed minions that you all of a sudden do not want to set back to 1, as we see now one of those minions, the Apexis Smuggler down there, and now Ring Toss that has been corrupted. Let's see what 2 secrets we're going to see up here. Of course, we don't necessarily get to see it on our end just yet, but we might get to highlight over them and see what those 2 secrets were. But for now, you and I both, chat, we all just get to sit back and watch what these secrets actually are.
And they could literally be anything.
It could be anything. It could even be a boat. And a 5/1 trades into a 7/1. Seems like a pretty good value trade. And Devolving Missiles on a 6 on that amazing wolf. Wow, what a turn right here.
Full answer for Nye. That was lovely.
Absolutely. Cenarian Ward now into the hand for Risen. Opponent down to 16. Lightning Bloom in the hand. We got to test out some secrets first. Let's do a Lightning Bloom. Secret pops. It's a Netherwind portal. More minions onto the side. And now Heart of Cthulhu going to come down, deal 3 damage to all minions. There, it's this back and forth sway of like board state into answer into answer. And now we get to see possibly refreshing these mana crystals. But after this, like Risen's kind of out of gas.
Right. Absolutely. Oh, and a mirror entity with the Omu.
Cenarian Ward comes down. What is this going to make now? And then we see a Feral Rage. Oh, my goodness.
Oh, my gosh. Removing that Omu, not giving Nye the option.
Huge spot here. And then throwing this 9/5 and then being able to rush into the 5/3 and then gain yourself a nice little taunt right after that. That's, well, what a big pull from that ward. Now refreshing Spring Water, finding an Apexis Blast that might be able to deal with that 5/4 minion, but he's going to, nope, she's going to throw it right at the taunt minion as well. Double Apexis Blast is going to be good.
Blast is going to do some stuff.
And you get a free spell, and you get a free spell.
Let's see what the second minion is. I mean, she's got a 4/4, she's got a 5/5 on board. still having 4 mana left over. What is she going to use this 4 mana with? Is she going to get that Font of Power? Is she going to get 3 minions in hand? See what to do from there? It looks like she is.
Yeah, I like this move right here. Another Koldar Drake. Ooh, Jan Disparov is now into the hand as well. And then throw a ring toss down, really confuse your opponent. And now look at Risen. Risen is out of gas. They need to find some card draw. Celestial Alignment not going to do much for them right now.
No, absolutely not. Oh my gosh, and the mask coming down. That armor is going to dwindle pretty quickly here.
And let's see what comes off the top. And Overgrowth, well, that technically is card... Well, no, it's not even card draw yet because you were at 10 mana. Now you're back down to 1.
Yeah, no longer. And just going for that face. Oh, and it was a counter spell. Oh my gosh. She says no Celestial Alignment. Out comes J-Bar.
What's up, Jay? What are we getting? Some 5/5s, some 5/3s. Not a lot. Yeah, call me crazy, Sway, but I don't think Druids really deal with really big wide boards all that well.
You know, I really am not going to see an answer here for Risen, I don't think.
Oh, well, a Gadget Zan into an Overgrowth at least is gonna... We might... Here comes the miracle, perhaps? Body of Cthulhu?
Oh my goodness.
Solar Eclipse. Next thing's gonna cast twice.
And Cthulhu is officially in the deck.
Feral Rage to maybe gain some armor.
Gaining that armor.
Lightning Bloom to gain more mana.
That Gadget Zan got full... Just, oh my gosh, that really helped a lot.
Oh man, what a pull off the top there. Malygos, the Spellweaver now into hand, but out of mana.
Oh my
Unless you get a Nourish to refresh some mana crystals if you want to. Lunar Eclipse now into the hand.
This is let's just take a second and realize this is literally all off of the top of hand.
Yep.
This was legitimately
auctioneer.
from an auctioneer and from a 1-cost Overgrowth.
Look at this now. Now we see NAYSYL. I mean, this is what they got. Oh, a big pull here with this Flame Strike. But this is all we got. They have to be able to close this game out. And the Druid sitting at 36. So now we see, do we make some value trades? Do we want to put some other pieces down here?
Right.
We have to be really mindful about our minions because anything that's destroyed right now is going to be tough. And that Kargath Prime is going to be gaining 10 armor this very next turn if that's the way Risen wants to go with it.
Right. Absolutely. Is she going to trade off that 4/7? Or is she just going to go straight face here? How much damage does she have on the board? She's got 9, 10, 11, 12. I'm very bad at math.
You got to see just kind of, you have to kind of look at
20.
how much damage we have. Yeah, we have 20 damage. Yep. So push as much as we can face. We have to close out this game as soon as we can because then you have to also consider, well, now you're going to start taking fatigue damage, right? So maybe I have to take out this 4/7 because the fatigue damage is going to start mounting up. I like this move right here. At the very least, you're saying, okay, force your opponent to have something. I now have a complete board. I'm putting on the pressure. And now, look who else has run out of cards, except there's Cthulhu, which is going to be at least one more turn till this comes down. And the Kargath Prime is going to allow them to have that amount of time and gain that important 10 armor right there, too.
Absolutely. I really think that 9 might just take the fatigue damage here. I think it's going to come down to that, unfortunately.
That's the thing. Once that Cthulhu comes down, that's what? That's just 30 damage split everywhere.
Right.
Boy, what a game this was.
I know. I don't know that she's going to be able to come back.
Okay, well, let's see what we got up here. So we have all of these minions that are sitting up here. We got, looks like, we got 4, 7, we got 10, we got another 17, we got 18.
Fatigue damage coming out here.
We got a lot of fatigue damage. So here comes...
Out comes Cthulhu.
Cthulhu and the super spit of 30 damage all over the place. Let's see exactly where everything goes.
Not much going face, though.
Not much going face, but it needs to take... As long as you take care of the minions, you're doing fine. Fatigue damage for 2 now, and that 6/6 not able to be dealt with that easily. We got to think if there's some way that NAYSYL can pull themselves out of this and stay alive.
I mean...
Do you push damage with this? Okay, I got to see what we're doing here. We're going to freeze out that part there. We're going to hit the Cold Hour Drake into the Cthulhu. We really want to see exactly what the Druid's going to hear. Some emotions coming out. 2 damage sitting there.
Unfortunately, killing the Koldara before using hero power as many times as possible. And I think that's game.
Yeah, not the best move right there. Taking 3 damage, and just like that, NAYSYL comes back down there. And yeah, in the grand scheme of things, that trade-off right there early wasn't, what defined the game right there. But what defined the game right there, I don't know what defined the game right there. We saw a lot of randomness. We saw celestial alignments right there. We saw Yogg-Saron do Yogg-Saron things as well, and now we're going to jump right into game number 3. I'm still unpacking all of that, and our players are just jumping right in.
Absolutely, that was a valiant fight.
Oh, valiant fight! It
looks like we're doing our rogues.
So R1SENDEAD now jumping into this rogue, and this is one of those kind of shifts in that rogue that we saw in R1SENDEAD compared to some of the other rogues that we've seen, specifically like another rogue on the side of NAYSYL, is that animated broomstick that we saw in the opening hand of Risen. That's an extra one of in that rogue deck. Right.
And NAYSYL sticking with Mage.
I can see why, right? This is maybe, that's kind of one of those things, like maybe start off with the deck that you think might have the most trouble getting a win. So if you can get that one out of the way, then you feel favored in all your other matches, or you feel really good about the rest of that. So in one way or another, it doesn't matter if it's 3-0 or if it's 3-2, you still have to get at least one win with this Mage deck.
Absolutely. So she's already took it. The other 2 decks already happened. So Rogue's the matchup.
Rogues the word, daggers into the hand for Risen. NAYSYL at least has that deck of Lunacy. That's the other thing. The Lunacy card was, I think, one of the very last cards in her deck last game. It was
indeed. Out comes the Lunacy right now with the coin.
4
mana, here we go.
About to get Looney.
Been played.
Early Secret Passage right here. I like this move. All right, there's not a lot sitting in your hand that you really want to play with. Might as well empty things out, and an efficient Octobot is a good thing to throw out there.
Yeah,
Wand Thief.
Octobot looks real nice.
Could be really good as well.
There's that Wand Thief.
Shooting Star, Primordial Studies, Mask of Cthulhu. I like that choice.
Yeah, we're already at 4 mana. Mask of Cthulhu's definitely gonna Shadow Stepping that Wand Thief, being able to use it again next turn as it stays in hand, as does Mask of Cthulhu.
And that's why I think something a lot of players maybe don't do. They want to get like as much mana built up as possible before they Secret Passage. But look at that. That was a turn 4 Secret Passage. And just like that, Risen got so much value out of it. They got minions on board. They got great spells. And now they refilled their hand. That's a nice play there on turn 4.
Absolutely.
Oh, is that a Celestial alignment? Are we going to see another?
Is a Celestial.
Are we going to do it? Not just yet?
Nope, not yet.
This is insane to me that we might see 3 Celestial alignments in 3 straight games and only one of them involved a Druid.
Nice little ring toss, though. Getting 2 secrets on board here. Yeah, that's the Celestial alignment. This is just the matchup of Celestial alignment.
Only one of these players has a Druid, and that Druid's gotten 1 victory, but Celestial alignment might define this entire series.
Absolutely.
So that deck of Lunacy is certainly making things kind of nuts. And I like this move. Not really, no reason to throw out a minion right there because you don't want to discount your opponent's deck.
Absolutely. And just going face, testing for those secrets. There's one of them. It was a counterspell. Nice
move there, going with the 2. The Swindle is actually the better value play right there.
And Netherwind Portal was the other one. Oh, and it is a nice little minion with stealth there for attack.
Absolutely, the 4/2, and then when it dies, it's going to generate another 4/2 that randomly attacks something. Like, it's going to be really, really nice. I mean, it's good value. Like, you want to look at something, you want to have something you know is almost always going to generate some contact. And I like this move by Risen as well. Bounce back that high value minion that you know is going to die, unless you do something about it. Now Hellfire into the hand for NAYSYL.
Right, Apexis Blast online here. Lots of options here on what she can choose to do.
Yeah, I'm kind of wondering what the choice is. I like this. The nice value play right here. You're going to deal 5 damage, summon another minion. It's okay, not bad. It's at first glance, it's a 1/1. Yeah, but that death rattle's pretty good. And now
Octobot comes out again?
We see the beauty of the broomstick right here. You're going to guarantee value with your Octobot.
I was interested in seeing this broomstick in play in this deck, and that is the utilization right there.
Just like that. There's our 5/8 taunt.
There it is.
And
nice and spicy.
Now the question is, okay, we're going to throw a Brain Freeze out. We're going to take out this 4/2. What is this attack? Probably the Octobot, I'm guessing? Oh, no, I always like to guess what the randomness is going to be right there.
Oh, absolutely. And you always wonder if it's going to go face or not.
And now field contact down. Thanks to all these discounts, here comes the miracle side of the rogue now. Swindle comes out, going to draw more cards. Secret Passage is down there. Now we have the Aug Merchant. Don't forget the prize plunder can take out this 5/5 if it so chooses. That's exactly what we see. And then the Broomstick can take out the 4/1. Nice move by Risen, again with the quick plays.
Yep, Risen having to play very quickly there in order to get all of that accomplished, but having a full hand to work with at this point.
NAYSYL with that refreshing spring water. Another celestial alignment into the hand.
What is happening anymore?
It's just some fun shenanigans here in round 1 of this awesome Hearthstone tournament with the gaming stadium. And now Risen kind of looking at just kind of going, at what point in a competitive sense do you sit there and try to analyze what your opponent might have when you're playing against a deck of Lunacy Mage?
You know, there's only so much guessing you can do just because of the nature of Nye's deck here. And at this point, Risen has faced it twice already, so Risen's pretty well aware of what it's capable of.
Absolutely. A nice move here. You gotta throw it. That was a good Hellfire right there. Seemed like the appropriate choice. Now you can Hero Power take out this 3/1, or do you decide to do something a little bit different?
And out comes a Runic Carving.
And we overloaded it.
Wow, okay.
Okay there. I can see this. You overload right there and then maybe play your Celestial Alignment right after that if you have the mana for it. But instead, we will possibly see the Kazakus come down.
It's looking like it's going to happen.
Maybe Kazakus and the Tenwu, Foxy Fiend to do a little bit of a discount before that.
Also, that Cult Neophyte in hand is really useful against a mage, isn't it?
Especially once you know that mage is overloaded.
Absolutely.
Okay, Kazakus.
There he is.
The Golem Shaper gonna make some Clayboys. Let's see what we got down here.
And it's a 5 cost. Cool.
Vanessa Van Cleef now is gonna put that Glacial Minion back into hand, and Cult Neophyte comes down, boosts everything up. Celestial Alignment still able to be played. I-Beam, which has Outcast, which of course is a feature of Mage, is now into the hand.
Totally something we expect to see in a mage hand right now.
Absolutely. And something that avoids the Cult Neophyte.
I wonder... Yep, okay. Not allowing that to be shadow stepped or called back to hand at all is very smart. Take care of it immediately.
Arcane Intellect now sitting down there as well. You're going to be able to trade that 3/2.
And the rest of damage going face.
It's a solid move.
Vanessa on board.
I like that. Now you've put down the Rogue to 13. Alexstrasza now into the hand, and we might see this Greater Golem now come down and do a little bit of work on this board.
Out comes the Glacial Racer? Okay.
Get 3 damage to 2 random enemy minions. I like this move as well. Completely throws the board back on their side, and Risen feeling good about everything they're doing right here.
Foxy Fraud coming out.
Yep, nice move because there's not a lot of, I don't think there was any combo
absolutely.
cards in the hand. Might as well just get the tempo while you can.
Yeah, get that 3 damage on the board while you can.
And here's a spot with the Serpent Shrine Portal now comes down. At least is going to try and again swing tempo back. Hey, a Libram of Hope is going to create another big 8/8.
Another mage card that we know very well.
And look at this Metamorphosis into the hand for NAYSYL as well, so she can transform her hero power if she so chooses. Mask of Cthulhu seems like the best play right here.
Definitely does.
You gotta use both Wicked Stabs, perhaps, or maybe just the prize plunders.
Plunder.
And now we start seeing what the race is going to be. Now it's like, okay, we're going to leave some minions up. We're going to start pushing as much face as we can. They're down to 12, but they have the board back on their side. Let's see what is going to happen for NAYSYL here. Another Libram in the hand.
Choosing to keep those Celestial alignments, I think that's a really smart play. Although, there is a secret passage, and that secret passage will... Well, no, I guess it won't. Yeah, no, Celestial alignment might really work against her at this point.
Mm-hmm. I could see the Libram, maybe Metamorphosis play right here. You're kind of weighing, is there anything on my opponent's board that I absolutely need to kill right now? I don't think that there is, unless you kind of really think that you need this If you're going to play a Libram of Hope, maybe you ping down that 2-1 to prevent any bounce shenanigans to kill off an 8-8 if your opponent really has an insane turn.
It looks like the Libram's coming out.
It seems like the play to make here.
I agree.
NAYSYL kind of weighing her options as she's down 2-0 to Risen here in round number 1. $1,000 prize pool is on the line right here. The clock is ticking. The rope is burning. A decision needs to be made.
And there it is, the Libram coming out. Getting rid of that prize plunderer.
And that's exactly the move that we see right there. A nice move right there. Again, getting some value up. Still back to 30.
That wicked stab at that 10 mana efficiency. And there is an easy clear for that Libram of Hope.
Easy clear. Some pressure still mounting on the side of Risen. Some good moves and a secret passage still in hand, although we have to think about how many cards are still in the deck for that rogue, as they seem to be kind of hovering down a little bit lower than usual.
Yeah, absolutely.
Only a matter of time now for see what NAYSYL wants to do here.
Not a lot of options.
Yeah, not a whole bunch. You still got this Alexstrasza staring your face down a little bit. There's a few things that you might be able to pull off with it. I mean, you could look at the Metamorphosis if you want to. Of course, you have some options to kind of give yourself some spell damage +1 if that's what they might do, and it looks like they're leaning that direction.
Right.
Mozaki, the Master Duelist, will come down.
Mozaki coming down, I feel like out of necessity.
Absolutely. Swap your hero power to deal 4 damage. And a Holy Nova now comes out. And 4 damage to the face of Risen. And now lots to do on Risen's side, as Guardian Og Merchant can give that 8-8 Divine Shield and take out that 3-8, which seems like a good move. The Secret Passage turn might happen as well. Field Contract going to be able to draw a whole bunch of cards. We might not even need the Secret Passage with all of the pieces that we have there.
Wicked Stab also available as well.
And let's not forget Tenwu is sitting in the hand. So he's obviously thinking about what are ways in which I can take advantage of Tenwu to continue to deal a whole lot of damage if I need to. Like, I don't know, maybe putting a 1-mana Alexstrasza back into my hand.
I mean, it feels like a smart play.
Who needs Celestial Alignment when you got Tenwu? That's what it is. It's like, hey, Mom, can I have a Celestial Alignment? No, we have Celestial Alignment at home. At home, Tenwu.
And Secret Passage coming out here. Wand Thief is great.
Jandis Barov is a good spot as well. We might see this Foxy Frog. Going to discount the Wand Thief, a free Wand Thief into an efficient Octobot as well. Grand Finale into the hand for Risen Dead too.
Oh my goodness.
So now there's a good amount of damage with that Wicked Stab as well. A lot of minions that need to be dealt with, and no board wipes in the hand of NAYSYL. Another Libram of Hope on their side as well, but now they're running out of hope.
Really? I truly don't know. I mean, we can't speculate what's in the deck because we literally have no idea, but I truly don't know what she'd be looking for at this point.
And there's not a lot of ways to draw cards either.
Right.
So this
might... like that Libram of Hope is going to have to go down right now.
But you can't deal with this Alexstrasza. So what are we sitting here? Do we throw 4 damage to the face and hope we can find some way out of it? Do we Libram of Hope ourselves in the face and take out that 1/4? Which doesn't seem like a great value move.
Does not.
Not a lot going right now.
No, this is very concerning for Nye.
So let's put ourselves in NAYSYL's shoes right now. What is the move that we're saying here that at least gives us a chance to at least stay alive and hopefully maybe find another answer next turn?
I think it's going to have to be Libram.
Clock's ticking.
At least Nye is at 30 health, and there is not 30 damage on the board right now. That Grand Finale, though, that is going to be a little devastating.
Grand Finale is going to be tough to deal with, that's for sure. So, taking out the 3-2 with the Demonic Blast. Pinging down a 2-1, Libram of Hope on her face. At least put a big minion on there.
Right.
Best they could do.
And out comes Jandis.
Nice move to play it right here. Let's see what minions come up from it. Greybow, give a friendly minion, summon Greybow. Wow,
These
2
are
legendaries.
Nice minions, wow.
That is absolutely nuts. And we take out this 8-8, and now here comes the pressure. And not just any pressure, but you're also having a Wind Fury Rogue that's swinging at you as well.
Yeah, she's going to need something really fantastic to happen this next turn in order to stay alive.
Crazy stuff here as we see what comes into the hand.
Unfortunately, it's just a Runic Carvings.
Yeah, Runic Carvings not going to do much right here. I think we might kind of see the writing on the wall here.
Right, this might be game right here. Did she summon with Rush? Yes, she did.
Most likely would have to. And now hope this kind of attaches itself to not one of the tiny minions. Attaches it to the 3-2. Obviously, we're not going to attack that thing. Lots of damage onto the side of Risen. They are going to be out of cards at this point, but plenty of damage in hand as we see. 10, 14, plus a Wicked Stab is probably going to do a good amount of work as well. And absolutely incredible as Mankirk comes down and damage going to punch itself away, and Risen is going to take the victory, I think, right here. Unless, oh, no, Mankirk's going to come down. It's just kind of delaying the inevitable at that point. Punching things into the face, down to 1, taking 1 damage is Risen. I don't know what else might come out here that could help NAYSYL. It's a dire frenzy.
Oh no, it's a dire frenzy.
And the situation is dire for NAYSYL, and that will do it. Risen Dead takes the victory, 3-0 over NAYSYL, and if anything else, Sway, it was an eventful first round, seeing just how many Celestial alignments we can cast in one game.
Absolutely. It was RNG-filled games, and I respect Nye for going with that mage and just trying to pummel through, get that win, and then reverse sweep. But unfortunately, it just doesn't look like it was in the cards for her.
Yeah. I mean, that's one thing we want to saw. We want some answers to this to what this mini expansion has done to the meta, and that one thing that we at least know is that Spell Mage still going to Spell Mage. You know, for better or for worse, you kind of ride or die with it. And at that point, it just didn't work out for NAYSYL there. But hats off to Risen as well. We saw a lot of really tight play on all 3 decks on their side as well. They made a lot of quick plays and some really complex moves as well, and it was fun to see.
Absolutely, yeah. That Auctioneer turn was phenomenal. That was a beautiful play, and we really saw how powerful that Shaman was with Wailing Caverns. Like, beautiful Shamans right now.
Yeah, absolutely. Beautiful Shamans, powerful plays, and there's also nothing more powerful than making sure you keep up to date on your recycling, which is why we also want to thank our sponsor, Oncorp. If you want a fast and easy way to recycle that energy drink, that can of pop or juice box you finished refueling on, well, with Return It Express, there's no sorting, no lineups, no handling cash, and refunds are deposited straight to your online account. You can just drop off your empties at an express depot near you and go. And signing up is easy too. All right, you can just head to returnit.ca/express to give your empties a second life. And I hope that we see a second life for this Spell Mage at some point in the near future. But if we don't see that again, there's still a lot of fun decks to see, Sway, as we get ready to kind of go to what might be the next round after that.
Absolutely. What deck have you not seen yet that you're looking forward to seeing?
Boy, you know, we were talking a little bit about that Lifesteal Demon Hunter. That feels a little spicy to me. I want to see some pieces that can do as well. And maybe I want to watch a Priest match at some point. I feel bad saying it, but come on.
I love me some Priest mirrors. You know, you got to buckle in, you got to prepare for them, but sometimes they can just be phenomenal.
Absolutely. We might have to buckle up and prepare for that. And we hope that you prepare for round 2, which we will get to right after this. Stay tuned.